up. Head coach Ryan Ritter and Zaire Williams. They were at home against Western Carolina, got a win last week, and then a very close game Saturday at Wofford. Home twice this week. UNCG Thursday night at 7, VMI on Saturday at 2. And before they come up, I was asked to remind everybody, men's lacrosse will have their home opener Saturday, 11 o'clock, Five Star Stadium against Hampton. With that, Coach Ritter.
All right, good afternoon. I feel like it's been a couple weeks since we've been back, I guess. I think, since I've been up here, I think we were on a 5-game win streak. Unfortunately, just dropped one here this Saturday. But Bears are in a good spot, man. We got a great group. We're playing well. Unfortunately, just took a loss to a really good team on the road in Wofford. Knew it was going to be tough to sweep those guys, but give them credit. Thought they made some adjustments and found a way to protect the home court. But overall, I think we've got a really we got a fun group to coach. We got a good team. Feel like we've got a chance to finish in that upper echelon and compete for a championship. But got a lot to go. I think we've got a solid foundation. But I think when you're trying to chase greatness, it comes one day at a time. And coming off a tough loss Saturday, had practice this morning, and I think you saw 23 guys that were locked into what we're asking them to do, and expect us to get back on the right track Thursday. So fired up to keep coaching this group. We got 6 weeks left of regular season play, and I think we're going to go as far as we want to go. We've got the right guys in the building. They're playing well, playing confident. Got to shake off Saturday and be ready to try to earn a season sweep for UNCG on Thursday. So open it up for questions.
What's the biggest thing you've seen in this group over that 5-game winning streak that y'all went on?
Play with great confidence. We're gelling together. We feed off each other, share the basketball. We're a really offensive, really fun offensive unit to watch. I think you're seeing guys that are really finding their role and their niche down the stretch. I think you're seeing a group that's hungry. They didn't mope their heads this morning because we lost. They wanted to get into practice. They wanted to get better. They wanted to be physical, and I think they're a group that understands that we've got to knock out day by day, and win or lose. We're not going to be results driven. It's going to be a process thing.
How's your blood pressure on the sidelines? I'm curious. You guys are scoring over 100 points. You're giving up now. It's like every game just feels like it's a track meet to the end. Is that just like kind of overwhelming for you as a coach, or are you just like, we're scoring points and we're winning? That's all that matters.
Yeah, no, I think this team. Every team every year has their own identity, and if you ask me in June or July, I think we couldn't put the ball in the bucket this summer, right? And so I said in August, I'm like, man, I don't know if we're going to be able to score, but we're going to be able to guard. And man, I don't know if someone should pay me to be the coach anymore because I've been wrong or what. No, this group, but what they do is they fit really well, but their games fit with each other. And so we found a niche on that side of the ball. Did I envision us scoring 80, 90, 100 every night? No, but it's been a good recipe for us, and I think we're coming along on that other side of the ball as well.
That's what I was going to ask next. It's kind of similar to the women. You guys are at the top in a lot of those defensive categories, steals, blocks, things like that. How are you kind of preaching that in practice to play on both ends of the floor?
Yeah, for us, we do play at a high tempo, so you can't look at points per game on the defensive side. We're always going to give up a little bit higher because we score so much. But I think with us, it's just the discipline to do it every night. We've shown plenty of spurts of being not just good at defense, but dominant. When you really look at some of the halves we've put together at UNCG, Western Carolina at home, Citadel, we're putting together VMI second half. We're putting together really good stretches of it, at Wofford. But can we consistently do it for 24 minutes, for 28, and ultimately 40? And I think, I know we will. It's just about continuing to punch the clock and figure it out.
Rim protection as well has also been big for you guys. I've talked about it a lot all season, but Armani Mighty averaging a double-double. You said at the beginning of the season he'd be on the all-something team. You think he's still going to go that way this season's had? Yeah,
he's been tremendous, right? Obviously Saturday was a little blip in the radar, got a little foul trouble, and wasn't a major impact. But he's as dominant a big man as I've ever coached. I think he's as good a big in this league. He's good on both sides of the floor. But I think really rim protections is everyone. Everybody steps on the floor. Their job is to protect that paint and limit their rim twos. And for the most part, we've done a really good job. Obviously slipped a little bit on Saturday, but it's a collective effort. Obviously, he's an anchor down there. Connor Servin's been really, really good, but we got physical guards on the perimeter that make it tough for those guys.
Zaire Williams, who also an all-defensive player in the NEC last year, proved himself a lot on defense too, would you say? Yeah,
he's got the matchup every night. He's going to guard the other team's best players. We're going to count on him in a big way on both sides of the ball, and that's a luxury. A guy that can put the ball in the bucket, goes for 23 or 24 on Wednesday or Thursday, whatever that was, but also knowing that every night he's gonna lick his chops for that matchup. He wants to guard the best guy. He's got a toughness to him. I said it on day one. I told Rick, I don't know that there's a more consistent guy that I've ever coached. He's not hiding from it. Didn't play well on Saturday from a statistical category, but came in Monday like he was best player on the floor. Same work ethic, same mentality, same guy every day. And when you got guys like that in your team, you got a chance to play a long ways.
Obviously the scoring was incredible during that 5-game stretch. What is the biggest thing you want to replicate? You talk a lot about playing your best ball right at tournament time. What was the biggest thing you saw in that stretch and maybe are still seeing that you're like, we have to have this? I mean, maybe from a team chemistry standpoint or from a specific, on the court standpoint?
Yeah, I think for us, obviously we're playing with great confidence on offense. But I think our best thing is we play with great great confidence on offense, and then play with that edge on defense. And I think when we mix those two, I think we're as lethal as it gets in this league. We've got a real next play mentality. We were talking about it this morning. If you're chasing a regular season conference championship, it comes one day at a time, and you can't live in the past. You can't hope things work out. You got to take care of today. And we let some things slip on Saturday. We can't make it a bigger deal than it is. Hey, here's the target. This is what we want to get better at. Let's target it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and get ready to tip it up against a UNCG team who's, realistically, I think 4-4 right now. They're a really good basketball team. Mike Jones has done a tremendous job his entire career. So they're going to come in here with adjustments. But I think when it breaks down to it, play with confidence on offense and have great edge on that defensive side of the ball.
You mentioned playing UNCG again. You mentioned how tough it is to sweep Wofford. I mean, talk to me a little about going through some of these teams, seeing it the second time. What's the thing that makes that most difficult as a coach, and how do you approach it?
Well, I think especially when you win, you got to anticipate what adjustments they may make. What are they going to do different defensively? What are they going to do different offensively? And then having our plan ready to go when that does occur. And give Wofford credit. I thought they did a good job of making us take some shots that they wanted us to take. And defensively, I thought they did a pretty good job of spreading us out and not allowed us to protect the paint as much. So it's really just finding those adjustments that we think those guys are going to make here in the second time around, and having a plan to combat that.
You mentioned being surprised by the scoring. I think I remember that too from the first press conference. You're saying, like, we got to find a shooter, right? Who has surprised you the most? I mean, obviously Baraka's getting it done, Zaire's getting it done, a lot of people, but who's your guy on the scoring front?
Yeah, I don't know if it's been a surprise. I mean, I think we've been pretty high on everybody that we recruited. I think we've got I think the unique part is everybody we check in the game can make a jump shot. And so obviously Armani plays, back to the basket, he plays around the rim, but every single other person we check in the game, you've got to respect their jump shot. And that's a good feeling, whether it's, Baraka making shots, Kyle Cuff, Zaire, Connor steps in and makes one, Tristan Gross, like we're shooting the ball and making it at a pretty high clip for us.
Coach, what do you think is the biggest difference or turnaround for this program from your first year to now as you kind of start this next stretch of some confidence?
Well, I think the first thing is, our coaching staff had to learn how to win in this league and win at Mercer. And number two, we did a tremendous job in the recruiting. We've got really good players. We've got really good people in that locker room. We've got real winners. And, it's not defined by winning and losing. It's how you go about your everyday routine. And we got real winners. I mean, you're looking at one right here. I've not been around a lot of better winners than Zaire Williams. And it's just the way he lives his life. He's going to come in, he's getting his MBA. He's going to be the same guy every day. And when you have a plethora of those guys, and they're really, really talented, because make no mistake, our talent level has been significantly upgraded. You have to do that to compete. And so when you've got that and you've got the character of these guys that are willing to be coachable, I think you got a chance for really big time success. So really, kudos to these guys. Our staff did a great job in the spring recruiting and bringing in the right guys to give us a chance to compete for a championship.
All right, anything else for Coach? All right, Coach, you know him better than anybody else. How about you introducing Zaire and what he brings to the table for your program?
Yeah, I love, and you guys probably know this about me, I love getting a chance to talk about our guys because especially in today's climate, man, not high on every statistical category for us, points, rebounds, steals, assists, minutes, but it's really the everyday presence. So fired up to go to war every day with the guy, Zaire Williams.
Zaire, if you would just give a brief opening statement, how you think the season's going, and you're coming to be here at Mercer, and then they're going to ask you questions.
Good afternoon, Zaire Williams. So far this season, we're getting off to a great start. You know, some of the 3 games we lost in conference, we slipped up on those things that we need to adjust and fix. And once we do that, we'll be in a pretty good spot for the rest of the season.
Zaire, you're originally from New York City. You play at Wagner, which is in New York City. You come down here to Georgia for your 5th year. How big is that adjustment for you, just like being it similar to your whole life?
It's a big adjustment, but it's actually something that I wanted to do out of high school. I didn't want to stay in New York, so I'm actually happy that I got to leave the city for my last year. But it's a big adjustment. It's a different environment, different people, but it's something that I wanted to do, so I'm looking forward to it, and it's good so far.
The coach talked about you getting the top assignment every night when you're guarding somebody. Just talk about the guys that you're guarding in this league. What kind of makes them different from some of the guys you've guarded in the past, especially in one of those smaller D1 conferences in college basketball?
This year, guys, they're more physical, more taller. In the NEC, I would say the guys are more quicker, more one-on-one guys. They like to play off the dribble, do things like that.
And then going forward, Coach talks about playing your best basketball in February and March. You're having a great season so far in your 5th year. How are you looking to finish that out in the best way possible?
As strong as possible. It's my last year. It's the one that counts the most. Looking forward to playing pro. So trying to have one of the best years. Each year I want to improve, and that's what I've been doing. And I want to have the best year that I had so far.
Do you have a favorite rapper from New York City? I'm curious to know.
I like Jadakiss. Jadakiss is one of my favorites.
Yeah, so he's got some heat for sure.
What's your favorite moment since you got to Mercer, whether it's on the court or hanging out with guys?
In the summertime, we actually went paintballing. That was fun. It was real competitive. We teamed up. That was a fun moment.
Who's the one guy you want on your paintball team?
The one guy I want. From what I can remember, Dragon, he was very experienced. He was very experienced. He knew what he was doing. I'll take Dragon.
Zaire, coming to a new coaching staff here, was there anything, this is your 5th year, you're now in college, was there anything that this staff has kind of taught you about your game or something you didn't know about your game that you thought maybe you were good at that you could improve on?
I would say they emphasize defense, Like that was something that they emphasized a lot at Wagner, but the way they emphasized it here, that really stuck out to me is very important to me, and I know that it's going to be important for us to win these next few games, these next few weeks. So defensively, that was what stuck out to me.
Okay, anything else for Zaire? All right, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, home games this week. Guys, Thursday night at 7 against UNCG and 2 o'clock on Saturday, VMI. Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it. Coach Zaire, thank you.